I mean, she was left with 3 little kids on a ranch, and she never married again. She raised those children by herself. My uncle got bit by a rattlesnake, and she was dragging him to town to get taken care of. He did not die. She got him taken care of. But, I mean, she lived out there, rode horses, worked cattle.
Wow.
She had some men that helped her, some hired men that helped her run the farm. After that, she lived in Silverton, which you probably don't know much about the Texas Panhandle, but Silverton, I think, has a big bullseye on it for tornadoes. So she lived through 3 tornadoes in Silverton.
We'll talk about this and much more today. Welcome to a Writer's Day podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Writer's Day Podcast. My name is Ruth Douthit, and I'm so glad you're here because I started this podcast for you, folks who love to listen to published authors talk about their books, but also listen to them talk about their writing journeys because they are so inspirational. And that's why I started this podcast. So welcome. I know you have so many podcasts to listen to, so I'm honored that you're spending some time with me today. And if you like what you hear, head over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Spotify and wherever you listen to podcasts. And leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think of today's episode. And head over to artbyruth.com to sign up for my newsletter because I've got some projects coming up. Fatal Truth, as you know, released last month. And Ask Why, my nonfiction book, is being released on September 7th. Ask Why, discovering purpose and perseverance through the questions that shape us. What if one simple question could change the direction of your life? In this book, I share personal stories of how that question did change the direction of my life many times, especially about becoming a published author. I'm a well-known artist, so a lot of people always ask me, well, why did you start writing? And other times they'll ask me, why do you run marathons? Or why did you start a podcast? So I thought I would write a book where I answer all these questions and ask you to maybe start thinking about why you're doing what you're doing. Ask Why releases September 7th and is available for pre-order right now. Okay, let's get started. Linda Kennedy is with me today. She is a 6th-generation Texan from Amarillo. And after more than 40 years in the upholstery business, she decided to turn her lifelong love of storytelling into a successful writing career. And she's here today to talk about her life, rich family history, and her books. So you know the drill. Grab your favorite beverage, a comfortable chair, kick back and relax as we listen to Linda Kennedy talk about her life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited to be talking with Linda Kennedy today. Welcome, Linda, to the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, why don't you begin by telling my listeners a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about your books.
Okay. Well, I'm a 6th-generation Texan, and my family's been here for over 200 years. Wow. So I've done upholstery work for 54 years, and that pays for my little side project, which is books, and that's something. So, and then I started writing back in 2001, and I've got 3 books out and a 4th one on its way. And my family's helped me do all the computer stuff and get this stuff done. My sister reads the first draft of everything.
Nice.
And so this is kind of how we're doing it. And I don't have a standard setup for writing. It's kind of haphazard. I may start in the middle of the book. I may start at the end or the first. It just is where I start and how I go. And I have some favorite authors, Joanna Lindsay, Rebecca Yarros, and Stephen King, and Dean Koontz. And I have a wide eclectic deal on books. So, I read a little bit of everything and everyone. So it's just that was how I started out. And a, a lady that I worked for, we were talking one day, and we were talking about the czar being buried, and she
Mm.
goes, "You always know the latest history and what's going on. Why don't you start writing this stuff down?" I said, "I have been writing it down for years." And she goes, "Why don't you put it on a computer?" And I said, "I don't know how to work one." And she goes, "You got to be kidding me." She goes, "You've owned your own business for 25 years. You do all this stuff and you write it down. You don't know how to work a computer." I'm going, "No." And she goes, "Well, that's just stupid." So she goes, "Have one of your girls," they both my girls ran companies, were business managers. And she goes, "Have them teach you how to run a computer and start putting this stuff down." So within a couple of years, I had a book. Didn't know what to do with it, but I had one. So I figured that out and self published one. And that was my first book, and that was Fallen Woman. And it was 1620 England, about a woman that couldn't inherit her own land and her own money because they couldn't do that then. And so she had a friend, though, that was the Queen of England. And she was trying to set her up with a husband, and it finally got done and everything. So got that one published. And then my mother goes, "You've got all these family stories about Texas, and we have a very colorful family." So she goes, "Why don't you start writing some of that down?" So I did. And yeah. Uh, and I kind of wrote it around a fictional woman, and then put all the family stories in there, and made my grandmother a madam of cat house. And I thought surely she was going to start showing up at the end of my bed in ghost form. She hasn't, so I guess she was okay with it. So,
That's good.
so anyway, and so there's a lot of true stories in Lone Star Lady. And then the third, and I wrote it, and I thought, well, that'll be all of that. And then I thought, well, no, I got 4 more on the computer. So, so I wrote Mind Moon because I like to mind people and all that. And then I'm going, good Lord, what the heck am I going to do with all this stuff? So, and then I had a literary agent, and unfortunately during COVID, he went into a New York hospital and he did not come out alive.
Oh.
So I'm going, things are just not working out. I'll just stop. And I just could not stop. So, and then I had another literary agent with Bookhaven contact me, and he goes, "We would really like to represent you and do this." And I'm going, okay, that kind of works for me. So here we are again. So this is what we're doing now, podcast. He goes, "We really need to put your face out there so people don't think you're AI." And I'm going, "People won't think that." And yeah, he's going, and then I was listening to an elderly gentleman sing, and I'm going, "Oh, I'm on his CD." And my grandson goes, "He's AI. He's not real, man." And I'm going,
Oh, wow.
maybe I do need to do podcasts.
That's a whole different world now, isn't it?
It's a whole different world. I'm going, there's not even real people out there. So anyway, that's kind of my thing. So
Wow. Well,
okay.
so you
Now
were a
you're bored to
business.
death.
No, not at all. It's fascinating. So you were a business owner, and then
Yes,
all
ma'am.
of a sudden you wanted to write. Was it because of books that you've read all your life that you felt like you were a storyteller?
Yeah, because sometimes I'm going, God, these are just the same thing over and over and over again.
Mhm.
This is boring. So, and I'm just when I wrote my books, I'm going, if I'm bored, my readers are bored. So I try and make sure they're not bored. So they may be a little
Yeah.
scared sometimes, but they're not bored.
So were you able to, take classes to, workshops or go to conferences to learn the writing
I
craft?
went to a couple of conferences and did that, and I'm going, I'm doing better on my own.
Mm,
So I just sat up night and wrote, and if I didn't like it, I erased it all and started again. So
mm.
I'm going, what am I out? Some paper or some time, or so I work all day in my shop, and then at night I write. So
Well,
all
that's
I'm out is
great.
some sleep. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, so you have this rich family history in Texas. Did you have storytellers growing up, like aunts or uncles or
my
grandparents?
grandmother
Yeah.
and both my grandmothers. So I'm going, one of them died way too soon, but the other one lived to 94. And
Wow.
so, and then my mother, and if you can see behind me, I don't know if you can or not, there's a Navajo Indian rug back behind me that was my great grandfather's that my
Oh,
grandfather gave to them the Christmas in 1921, the year he married my grandmother. So
wow.
I've got all kinds of Indian art and everything around my house, and
And stories to go with them, right?
stories.
Oh, that's amazing. See, my family was really quiet. My parents and grandparents were the silent generation where, I mean, you had to get a crowbar to get anything out of them.
Out of them, oh God, no.
Yeah, I mean, they
So,
just would not talk or tell stories. And so I just admire those families that have those storytellers in their aunts
well,
or
I'm
uncles
the
or
oldest
grandparents.
of five,
Mm.
and my great grandfather had a ranch down by Ashtola, Texas, big ranch, down by the Four Sixes, and uh, he died after he got cut on a barbed wire fence. And he died of tetanus, and not a good way to die. But they had a big cattle ranch down there. And so my grandmother had a lot of stories and all kinds of stuff. And my grandfather left her with three little kids to run off with a 16-year-old girl, which almost got him hung because the 16-year-old girl's father did not appreciate that at all. I'm
Ooh,
going, oh my
yeah.
God. So,
Yeah. Wow. Ooh.
yeah, a lot of family stories.
And a lot of material for novels. Whoo,
Oh,
boy.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like you. I'm going to write my mom's life story, which is fascinating, but I'm doing it in fiction. I'm going to make it a fictional
Yeah.
account, because I want to
So,
respect everybody. But yeah, it's fun to take these rich family stories that have so much detail and fascination and then make them fictional stories.
yeah. So yeah, that's so that not everybody's sitting on the end of your bed at the end of the night going, you did this and we didn't say you could do that. And they're coming
Hmm.
back in ghost form going, no. So
Really, exactly. Slamming doors and cold spells in your
slamming
house.
doors and the things are falling off your bed at night going, so yeah.
Well, historical romance, though, what inspired you to write that genre?
I have always loved the king. I've got a book this thick of the kings and queens of England. It's starting back from
Oh,
year 1000.
okay.
And I have always loved that. The newest book that's coming out is King Henry VIII and Elizabeth I, their time period. And it's written around a woman that's interwoven with King Henry VIII. And because
Wow.
he had a lot of mistresses and a lot of bastard children. And
Hmm.
so I interwove a story in with that. And I'm going, this is pretty cool. And my sister's going, oh, yeah. So I'm going, okay, this one works. So I'm
What
going, yeah,
fascinated you, though, with the royal family? What drew you to that
what
history?
doesn't? I mean,
I know
my
I love it too. I
God,
know.
they've got mistresses and they've got, I mean, between them and the Russian royal family,
Oh,
they played
yes.
hard and fast, and it's no wonder they all got shot in the end. So,
Right,
or
exactly.
guillotined. I mean, boy, they played hard. So,
Hmm. Oh, me too. I'm always drawn to it as well. It's so fascinating. I mean, my goodness. I watch The Crown at least 4 times a month.
and I mean, you're going, and I can't say this very loudly, but I mean, what Charles thought he could get away with and what he didn't get away with Diana, and I'm going,
I
okay.
know, so much
And yeah,
scandal, right? It's so rich with scandal.
oh
That's
yeah,
probably why we women love it.
yeah. I'm going, yeah. And Diana was the first one that said, no, ain't doing this. So I'm going,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, back 200 years, they got away with a whole lot of stuff. And if they didn't like their wives,
That
off
was
with their
it.
head.
Off with their heads. Well, so you must have upset your family a little bit when you finally told them, "Hey, I'm going to start writing and actually, publishing my books." But you said they were very supportive and still help you today. Has that really encouraged you to keep
Oh,
going?
my mother was thrilled. And I'm going, this is all about our family. And she's going, here, you want some more? I'm going, okay. So, and
Oh,
my
wow.
grandmother was gone by then. So I was really worried, but uh, she would have been thrilled. Because my aunts that were still alive were going, go for it. I'm going,
Oh,
all righty. Then they're going, you want some more? I'm going, bring it on. So
yeah. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Well,
So
so
yeah,
I know all the challenges that are out there with publishing. I've been doing it since 2011 and it's fun, but it can be really hard. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced in publishing your
the
first
people
novel?
that not knowing what I was doing,
Yeah.
and people just scammers and wanting
Yeah.
your money, and then not doing anything that they said they were going to do, and you wound up with $8,000 worth of debt and a book that you're
Um,
making 30 cents on the dollar. So
yeah. That's heartbreaking. It is.
yeah, and
I
then
jo
you
I'm
start all over again
And
when
I'm in a lot of those Facebook groups where they'll ask, this publisher wants me to pay $50,000 for my book. Is that a reasonable amount? And all of us are on there saying, you don't have to pay
no,
anything. They should be paying you.
yeah,
So it breaks my heart that so many people just get scammed. They don't know.
and
They
that,
don't
that
understand.
that's the nice thing. The literary agent I got, he goes, anything you get, you send it to me. I'll approve it. I'll look at it. If it's a scam or something, I will tell you. And he does, and I'm going, thank God. So,
Hmm. That's
so
great. That's great.
it is very, very nice to have somebody watching your back sometimes. And I
Well,
know
so
he's
if
probably about 30 years old, and I'm probably 40 years older than he is. But you know, I'm going, thank you, God. So,
he understands, yeah, he understands technology and everything. Well,
yes,
well, if you had a brand new writer in front of you, what advice would you give that writer who thinks that maybe it's just too late to get started?
it's never too late.
Mm.
It's never too late. Whether you're 20, 70, whatever. I mean, what are you going to lose? A little time, a little paper, a little bit on your computer. I mean, all the covers I designed, so I didn't have to pay a designer to do them. So, but the literary agents helped me flesh them out a little bit. I mean, they were kind of stick figures, and I told them what I wanted, and they helped me figure them out. But you need to find somebody reputable and put your name on the book. Don't let the publishing company do that, because you cannot sell them with somebody else's name on the book.
Mm.
And that's the first thing you need to know. And I did not know that, and so everything had to be republished to put my name on it. So
Wow.
you learn, but sometimes that's an expensive lesson.
Well, so tell us about your books. Your first one was Fallen Woman. Tell us about that story.
Well, she was the one that needed a husband because she had a bastard child. And the Norman knight they were trying to marry her to, they thought, well, if she's too ugly, or that I don't want her. And so the queen wanted to box his ears, and she made the king do a clause that she's got to meet him before she leaves, because there was some land she could. Her mother was a Celt, and she could inherit some of her land somewhere else. And she made him meet her. And of course, after he met her, he liked her. And so that went well. Well, the father of the bastard child came back and wanted her. And so things get interesting after that. So,
Hmm.
but I always thought that was not, why couldn't a woman inherit? But they couldn't. So,
Yeah, back then, that's true. And then
and
Lone Star Lady, tell us about this story.
that's my lady, and that's my family's story. It's got all my
Oh.
family's names in it, and thank God they don't hate me. So, so, and she's got her mother married another man to get her inheritance. Her horses, her land, her money, and he couldn't get it unless she was dead. And he tried very hard to get her dead. And he sold her to the Comancheros, and the
Wow.
Comancheros sold her to the Comanches. And she came back with a vengeance, and she wants to kill him. And she's walking down those staircase with a derringer in her dress, hidden in her dress, that she wants to kill her stepfathers to get her stepsisters back. And she has an agenda, but she
Wow.
also kind of changes when she loses her temper. She kind of, there's another lady that takes over, and she has no problem killing people.
Mm. Probably that
So
survival mode, right? She goes into
yeah, survival
survival.
mode. And
Wow.
some people have it, and she's got it.
Mm.
But she grew up with the Comanches, and she learned how to take care of herself.
What kind
So,
of research did you have to do for this book?
well, a lot of on the Indians, but done I've done everything on Comanches and stuff around here. I live in Amarillo, Texas, off the cap of the Palo Duro Canyon,
Mm.
and Quanah Parker was the last Comanche war chief around here. So
Oh.
I've got airheads above my fireplace and all kinds of stuff. And I've been to the museum in Canyon and taken my airheads and my lance points and that kind of stuff that I found. So I've done a bunch of stuff on the Apaches and the Comanches down here. So
Ooh.
I
Wow.
already knew that. That was easy. So,
Yeah, you should see if they'll sell your book in there in any of the museum gift shops or anything.
well, the museum shut down right now for
Oh, gotcha.
they're doing some sort of rewiring and stuff. Apparently, it had some wiring issues, like they were going to burn. It was going to burn down, or something's going on. The state wants to take it over. I don't know what the heck's going on right down there. So,
That's funny. Well,
yeah,
wow, that sounds fascinating. Interesting stories. Strong women.
strong women. All my women are strong women. They know how to take care of themselves. So,
Yeah,
even if
strong
they have to kill to
survivors.
do it.
Yeah, I was
So,
going to say survivors. That's
they're
important, though.
survivors.
That's important, though, because sometimes in historical romance, the women tend to come off a little like damsels in distress, but yours are
Yeah,
strong
and
survivors.
that kind of bothered me.
Mm,
So, because most time women like that did not survive. So,
that's true. Yeah. Well, so in Lone Star Lady, which family member inspired you to write Morgana?
my grandmother,
Is it based off your grandma? Okay, I wasn't
yeah,
sure. Wow.
I mean, she was left with three little kids on a ranch,
Wow.
and she never married again. She raised those children by herself. My uncle got bit by a rattlesnake, and she was dragging him to town to get taken care of. He did not die. She got him taken care of. But I mean, she lived
Amazing.
out there, rode horses, worked cattle. So
I was going to say, how did she run the farm? Wow.
she had some men that helped her, some hired men that helped her run the farm. And after that, she lived in Silverton, which you probably don't know much about the Texas Panhandle, but Silverton, I think, has a big bullseye on it for tornadoes. So she lived through three tornadoes in Silverton. So
Wow.
my grandmother was a tough lady.
Yeah, it's a different generation. My nana was very tough too. My family's from Mexico. She's from the northern Mexico area. And then they came into Phoenix where my mom was born. And my mom was a twin. And her brother died after 30 days, so she never knew him. But I remember asking my nonna about that. I said, "What did you do?" She goes, "Well, he died of pneumonia. He was not doing well, so we asked for the doctor to come. And in those days, the doctor came to your house." And she said, "But he died while we were waiting for the doctor to come." And I said, "What did you do?" She said, "Well, I just wrapped him in some towels and I put him in the freezer until the doctor came." And I'm like in eighth grade. She's telling me all this. So I'm starting to cry. And I said, "And then what did you do?" She said, "Well, I continued doing the laundry."
Oh my God.
And I said, "You did
And
the
she,
laundry?" And she said, "Well, someone has to do it. Someone has to do the laundry." And then the doctor came and I took the baby out and everything. And I was just thinking, wow, we women today, these women were so incredibly strong compared. I
well,
mean,
see, when
they
my
went through the
grandmother,
Great Depression and all that, right?
yeah, and I don't know how they survived, but
Hmm.
my grandfather, great grandfather, uh, one of the stories in there is they had you didn't rustle cattle off his land, you just disappeared. Well, my great grandfather, they had they watched the ranch during the depression, and you didn't rustle off his land or those ranchers' land. You just disappeared.
Wow.
So yeah, and my grandmother was born. My great grandmother was German, blonde haired, blue eyed, and my grandmother was the fourth child, and my grandmother was not. blonde hair and blue eyes. She was dark haired, brown eyed. So they lived out in the middle of nowhere. So something happened, and my great grandmother died about 6 months after she was born. And
Wow.
there was something happened out there. And my great grandfather went to his grave, never telling anybody what happened out there.
Oh my
So,
goodness. So many
yeah,
secrets.
I
Wow.
know. I know. Secrets, secrets. He
I
took her
love
to
it.
my great great grandmother, and she raised those 4 kids.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Incredible women, I tell you.
yeah.
Well, listeners, lindakennedybooks.com is where you can go to learn more about Linda, and you can get copies of all her books there. And so, what's coming next for you, Linda?
It's called Charlotte and the Elder's Daughter, and it's King Henry and Elizabeth the First time period, and it's about a lady that she was a viscountess, and she was hidden from King Henry VIII until one of his knights came through, and she was supposed to marry that knight, and he kind of betrayed her, or he didn't. The king did. He wanted the knight to marry another woman, a duke's daughter, and but by then she was already pregnant, and Henry wanted her too. She was very beautiful, and needless to say, things kind of went sideways. But for 20 years, the king and the duke hunted for her and for the daughter she finally had, and it's called Charlotte and the Elder's Daughter, and
Okay.
it's pretty good.
All
So what I
right.
think it is.
Release date release date still to come though, right? You're not
Still
sure
to
yet.
come. I got two
Okay.
more chapters to write, and
Okay, great.
then it comes out. So and so the cover on it I've got designed. I just got to figure out exactly how to do it. So
Well, fantastic. Well, I admire you. I admire your tenacity and wow, tapping into all that family history. That's amazing.
well, it's kind of cool. Maybe you ought to do your mother's stuff.
I'm going to. I'm going to write it. I've got it all written out, my brainstorm and my plan. But it will be a fantasy novel. There'll be a lot of dragons and castles and stuff. So,
Oh, those are the best kind.
exactly.
I've got one sci-fi on my computer, and you get to do a whole different world. You don't have to worry
Yep,
about timelines or anything.
exactly. You get to
Those are
create
so
your
much
own
fun.
world. I do find it much easier to write than contemporary stories and such. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Well, Linda,
That
this
one,
has
my
been a
lady, is all in leather and a sword and a whip at her on her hip. It's so much fun.
there you go. Yeah, and dragon riders. Woohoo. Well, Linda, this has been so much fun. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, it was a wonderful time. Thank you.
Wow, wasn't that great to listen to Linda Kennedy, a sixth generation Texan from Amarillo? And she is using all her family stories to keep her inspired to write that historical romance fiction. Whew. It inspires me to maybe tap into some of my family stories I heard growing up. I didn't hear as many as she did, but it's just a neat way to weave family history into fictional stories, kind of protecting the innocent, of course, but just get your family stories out there. So give it a try. But I hope that you've been encouraged to try something new. Linda did after 40 years in the business of upholstery. She decided to turn her lifelong passion of storytelling into a successful writing career with her family's support. That is amazing. So keep going on your writing journey. Writing something every day, give it a shot until you write the end, and then keep going forward. But most importantly, I thank you today for listening. Until next time, God bless.